Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you some lamb chops. I'm gonna serve them with the side of mashed potatoes and some broccoli. If you are new here to my channel, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please go ahead and turn on your notification bell so you can get notified every single time that I post. I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. So for the ingredients, I have some potatoes. I usually use about one per person, that add two. I have some broccoli, Sazonador total, thyme, lemon pepper, and of course the lamb chops. I picked these up at Costco and they were pretty expensive. One ran me about $16, the other about $18, but you can either get them when you see them on sale. This is definitely a once in a blue type of meal. I did keep them in my freezer and defrosted them, but you can always go to the butcher and get them fresh, which is better because they'll just cut it for you. But let's get started. So believe it or not, some people do not know how to make mashed potatoes from scratch, but don't worry, I got you. So first we're going to peel them. Then we're going to give them a nice wash, rinse them out, and then put them in the bowl with cold water and set them aside until you're ready to use them once your water is boiled. Okay, moving on to the lamb chops. It's pretty simple, but when you buy them like this, they come in a pack and you just have to put your knife in the middle and give them a slice. Don't laugh at me, I'm not a professional butcher, but I try my best. So you're gonna grab the knife, feel for the bones, and just slice it right down the middle. Sometimes you'll come into a point where you feel like a bone, so just move it over and just find that sweet spot like I just did there, and just slice right down. Like I said, if you get them from the butcher, you can ask them to do that for you. So sometimes the lamb might come with a little bit extra fat. I just want to trim them up a bit and just take some of that fat right off. And then also if you have any extra skin, just cut that off also, and just to make it look a little bit more presentable. But just trim that off just like that and you'll be fine. Okay, so these lamb chops need a bath. I'm going to soak them in cold water, and then I'm going to put some vinegar in there and let them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and season them. You can season them however you want, either in the bowl or on a flat surface. I'm going to use my cutting board today, so it's easier for me to just get them all seasoned up. I thought it was so hard to make this dish, but once you season it the way you like it, it's so easy, and I love to make these. They're so good. Alright, so for the good stuff, I'm going to put some avocado oil, just a drizzle on each of them. You can use avocado oil or olive oil. And then we're going to go ahead with our Sazonador total. This is basically garlic powder, onion powder, and cumin, and I forget what else, but I sprinkle that right on top. After I use that, I'm going to go in heavy with the lemon pepper. I love the lemon pepper on my lamb chops. After we add the lemon pepper, we're going to go in with some thyme. Get some nice herbs on there. Fresh thyme is good, but I only have dried, so that's what I'm gonna use. Make sure you get them all nice and seasoned, and just pick up any other seasonings you have on the bowl. Turn them over, repeat the process. Don't go too heavy on the other side because they're thin pieces of meat. And yeah, that's it. Okay, back to our potatoes. So what I'm gonna do is cut them in chunks like that. So just cut them in half and then cut them in threes, and continue that until all the potatoes are cut. Okay, so our water is boiling hot, so we're just gonna place the potatoes in the pot. I didn't add any salt, so just be careful because you can get burned. So just dump them in there and let them boil. Alright, so let's go ahead and sear up our lamb chops. I wish I could have used my cast iron skillet, but it's too small. So I'm just gonna have to use my frying pan. So I'm gonna place about a tablespoon of butter and just get that melted, and when it's very hot, I'll go ahead and place in the lamb chops. You're gonna want to sear them until you get a nice brown crust. If you use a cast iron skillet, you get a better crust, but I'm just saying, use what you have. So I'm gonna go ahead, crust these up, and then we're gonna place them in the oven. I preheated the oven at 375. We're gonna put the lamb chops in there after they're nice and golden for about 8 minutes, and that's it. They're gonna be nice and yummy. Okay, so we're done crisping them up. They look a little darker than they actually are, but we're gonna place them on a baking sheet because my pan was too small to fit all of the ones that I had. And like I said, place them in the oven for a couple of minutes, and then they're done. While the lamb chops are in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and drain our potatoes. Make sure they're nice and soft. Give them a nice drain. Be careful with that steam because you'll definitely burn your face. So just put them in a bowl, and what I'm gonna do is add the rest of that stick of butter that I had, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt. Of course, salt to taste. We're trying to keep it low on the salt in this house. I'm gonna add a bit of garlic powder. I'm gonna go in with a splash of milk. I wish I had cream. I always use cream, but I didn't have any. Some black pepper, and I use my whisk. For some reason, I feel like it comes out much better. So I'm just pounding it out with my whisk, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and whisk it up. Give a good stir and put some elbow grease into it. I hate this part, but it'll all be worth it. You give it a nice whisk, and there it is. It's nice and fluffy. It'll come out fluffier if you had some cream, but it is what it is. I had to use what I had, and comes out good every time. I don't do box mashed potatoes. So I chopped up some broccoli and I placed them in the same pan that we used for searing the lamb chops. So it had all of that nice seasoning all over it. I just add a pinch of salt, some pepper, and some crushed red pepper flakes. I added a splash of water, covered it up for like 3 minutes so it could get nice and a little soft but still crunchy, and that was it. Lamb is out of the oven, so I'm just gonna rest it for a few minutes and just garnish it with some fresh parsley. There you have it, guys, my recipe for lamb chops, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I did. If you did try this recipe out, please do not forget to comment down below. If you decide to buy lamb chops, look out for them sales because they can get pretty pricey. If you are new here, once again, please like, comment, and of course subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.